Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Many of us dealing with different types of pain, especially chronic pain. And fortunately and also unfortunately, we learn to live with it. Our minds and our bodies are amazing. We just adapt to it and we just keep moving forward. But why would we have to live with that pain? There's something that can alleviate it. It's natural, holistic, no chemicals, no meds. It is hypnotherapy. Yeah, hypnosis. We're going to talk about that today. And so much more connected to it. And not only does she practice hypnotherapy, but also harnesses the power of Chinese medicine, which includes acupuncture, herbals, and much more. Out of New York, great to have Dr. Kelly on the program again with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you doing?
Fascinated to find out more and more things that hypnosis can support. Big fan myself. I've used it for a number of different things. So pain, I guess, would be along with that. But I'm intrigued because I think about pain as being, an issue with somebody. Let's say you have a rotator cuff issue and you just let it go and it's nagging at you and you live your life that way. Maybe it's hard to address. Maybe they haven't found a way to fix whatever the pain is. So that's where I wonder, how can hypnotherapy help you when I guess the root cause of the pain still exists? Tell us more.
First, I want to clarify. So acupuncture herbs, of course, can treat the pain. When the hypnosis need to step in is when people's pain more triggered by the emotional trauma, especially from childhood. So in general, I use acupuncture on people who have pain and it's pretty successful. But when people have a lot of childhood trauma, which is the reason or the cause of the pain, at this point, hypnosis gonna help people even deeper, not only relieve the pain, but also relieve a lot of deep emotional stress, anxiety, sadness, anger stuff.
So how about give us some examples of the pain that somebody could be experiencing and that hypnosis would help with that?
Yes, actually, I just did a hypnosis on one of my patients who is a yoga teacher, actually. So basically, she teach people how to relax, how to stretch, but she has the pain only on the left side. And also, I found a lot of people who only have one side pain, usually is on the left side, usually linked to the childhood trauma. I mean, trauma might be a little bit too severe word. You can say just, when I was a child, my mom is very strict to me, that kind of thing. So, she's a yoga teacher, but she has all the way from her head, neck, shoulder, arm, all the way down to the toe, the left side pain. We did acupuncture. It did help her for a week. Usually, one acupuncture works for a week. Next week, she usually come in again. We have been done that for a while. Then one day I said, how about let's do a hypnosis? I think that will help you not only about the pain, but also about emotional stuff. So she agreed and we did, and it did help her.
Wow. And I've heard before just what you said, where a lot of times we have pain. It's one side of the body, and somehow, subconsciously, it correlates back to an earlier situation. And I've heard the left side, if you have pain on the left side, it could be caused or connected to a female situation. I'll just call it that. And that could be anything. That could be, your mom. That could be something later in life, whatever it is. What if, let's go with that. So let's say that pain in your shoulder. And let's say you're thinking, I played tennis, last year and I think, from the backhand, I rarely play tennis. So I'm like a weekend athlete, and you have a pain that you think is attributed to that, but it hasn't gone away. Maybe you've done a little physical therapy, whatever, but it hasn't gone away. Can it also still be tied to something else? Like, let's say if it's on the left side, connected to maybe your mom being strict or whatever it might be?
Actually, it's very interesting. For multiple cases I found in my office who has only left side pain, and they did complain about their mom. For example, this patient, this way before we did hypnosis, the first time she came in, she talked about her mom. She said, "Oh, my mom is a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is manipulating. My mom always want to contact me." So from the first time she stepped into my office, already complaining about her mom. So
Okay.
that is a proof what you mentioned about the left side, about the mom. And also in Chinese medicine, actually left side usually related with liver. Like I have another patient, also is a female. She's very young, only 20, in her early 20s. When she first came into my office, without she saying anything, I already can tell she had very severe liver qi stagnation.
Mm.
One is her face is very red. Two, her hands like start from here all the way to the finger, both on her hand are very red, and her fingers are very cold also.
Mm.
So I can tell she has severe liver qi stagnation. And she went to the doctor, they did MRI, they did X-ray, they did all the tests. They couldn't find a reason why she had the severe left side pain. But she said she just couldn't fall asleep. It's so painful. And the Western medicine doctor couldn't do anything because from the test, nothing wrong. So she came to me. I explained to her just one treatment. This is just acupuncture. We didn't even do hypnosis. Just one acupuncture, she said. Her finger, the color, much less red.
Wow.
Her pain, like decrease, like a lot. And she has constipation for her whole life, but after first acupuncture, she had bowel movement. So
Wow.
I did mention about hypnosis to her, but she said, she's kind of like financially a little bit tight, and also the acupuncture is so helpful. She said, let's just continue to do acupuncture. Maybe later on we can step in hypnosis. I said, that's fine.
The liver stagnation, you've mentioned it before, connected to acupuncture. What would cause that? Or what are some of the causes of that?
Very good question. For example, for the person I mentioned, the left side pain, yoga teacher. So we did hypnosis. We went back when she was like 3, 4 years old. She said, my mom always calling me selfish, not grateful.
Mm.
And also, my mom saying me being narcissist. So she said, that was when she was 3, 4 years old. And also, she said her grandparents, they like to do everything perfectly. She said her grandparents' home looks like a museum,
Mm.
clean, beautiful. She also mentioned about so her parents they argue a lot, they fight a lot. Um, she was always terrified when they argue and fight. Later on, so her parents divorced. Then her mom went to date with the guy who married her mom, which was is her stepfather later on. She said her stepfather is the person just look at you, make you scared, make you very scary, like make you fear. It's so also there are a bunch of things happen, like her mom like make a lot of noise when they had sex, but to her, she didn't know what's going on. She was so worried her mom got beaten up or something by her stepfather.
Right. Wow.
So all these things make her like very stressful, her body tighten. That's the original cause of the pain, actually. Of course, later on, there is another event happened. She shared a small apartment with one of her friends. Her friends was sleeping in the bedroom. She was sleeping on the couch for 3 months. That's another reason give her the pain. But the point is, why you give your bedroom to your friend, which you don't even really like, but you sleep on the couch, right? That's kind of like I need to put other people in
Yep.
front of me.
Yep. Yep.
So all
She's a
these,
people pleaser, and all of that, it sounds like, was created from her past, her childhood. She always had to feel like she had to measure up and meet a certain standard. So, like many of us, if not, I've heard actually, all of us have some form of not feeling worthy in us in different areas. And it could be to a large degree, it sounds like for that person, maybe less for other people, but we all have it. And it all comes from childhood and different situations. Doesn't mean your childhood wasn't good, but you as a kid internalize certain things and then you hang on to it. And then you have pain later in life, it sounds like. Wow.
yeah, so all the event, yeah, can be the cause of the pain. But we don't know, right? We usually think, oh, we went to the gym, we did heavy lifting, then we got the pain. A lot of pain did tied with emotional stuff.
Sure. Well, now I'm seeing that even more, that it can be tied to, an emotional situation, or you could have had some kind of pain hanging out there due to an emotional situation from your childhood or events after that. But a lot of this is childhood. And then maybe increase that pain by going to the gym. Maybe, why did you pull something? You may have been on a machine at the gym and adjusting yourself in a certain way, or your posture was in a certain way because of childhood situations. And then you tear a muscle, whatever you do, then you have pain. It could be attributed right back to childhood. So it sounds like, Dr. Kelly, you can only do so much when it comes to acupuncture in terms of alleviating pain. Past that, it would be hypnotherapy to really get in there and maybe get to the root cause. Does that sound right?
I think it depends. Like to some people, if the pain relate to the childhood, stuff, it's better we go back to the childhood. I mean, one thing I want to clarify, when you do hypnosis, you're still aware of everything. You're
Sure.
not like really falling asleep or something. We just put you kind of like in a deep, relaxed situation. Your mind is so relaxed, we can go to subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can fix or we can relieve whatever happened when you was a child. That scare, that anger, that sadness can be relieved. Then the original cause of the pain will be gone. Then you will feel totally relaxed.
I've had hypnotherapy before. I have a session with you coming up very soon. I can say yes. And you're not controlling somebody's mind. All you're doing is putting them in a very relaxed state, which, as I understand it, we're in multiple times during the day anyway. We just don't realize it. When you first wake up in the morning, just before you fall asleep, you're in the same type of hypnotic state. It's natural. It's normal. You get us there. And then we are able to access that part of our brain and figure this stuff out. It's not, I look at it this way. You're giving us the keys to unlock our mind. It's not like you're going in there and moving things around and then reprogramming and putting us into a trance. And no, all you're doing is making a suggestion while we're accessing that part of our mind. If we don't agree with a suggestion, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to be on board for it. That sound right? That's how I explain it after my experiences.
Yes, it is you. Actually, it's not me. I'm a hypnotherapist, but I'm not the one really fix the problem. It is you.
Yeah.
You have to agree, you know. So, okay, I am ready to release the anger. I'm ready to release the fear. I'm ready to release the limiting beliefs of, what I have to hold on to
Yep.
protect myself. So it's not me doing the work, it is you. I just guiding you. I'm just there help you to guide you to release all the negative emotions.
And let's also add here, that doesn't mean, because I've spoke with people before about this, and let's say that they're challenged by maybe the passing of someone in their life, and it may be a parent from way back in the day. They have fear that when they do hypnotherapy, that they're going to forget that person, or if it's not that situation, they fear that they're going to forget through hypnosis things in their childhood. That's not true, correct?
Right. So you only relieve the negative thoughts. You not relieve all your memories. So
Right.
to me, I think that's not possible. Even you just forget about a person, just you lost all your memories. That's not possible. What we are only doing through hypnosis is to relieve the negative thoughts. Like, oh, I hate my mom because she was so strict to me when I was a child. She wanted me to study. She wanted me to play the piano. That happened to a lot of kids, actually. Like when we were little, like our parents paid a lot of money for us to learn piano or to learn this and that. They want they want you to really learn it, and also they want you to really grab the skill so you can use later on. Our parents love us. That's one thing I think almost 100%. All the parents love their kids. But somehow, I think a lot of parents, they don't know how to talk to their kids to show their love. So in a way, they're like, oh, you need to play the piano, sit down for an hour, 2 hours to practice. To the kids, they they receive the signal is, oh, my mom just care about my piano. My mom doesn't care about me. My mom just care about, oh, she paid how much money for the piano lesson, so I have to learn. So that is the wrong signal we received from our parents. Then we kind of like treat the negative thoughts. Oh, I hate my mom. Or my mom doesn't love me. So that is the thing we need to fix. And again, you are you're not like totally falling asleep. You know what's going on. We just kind of like go back to a like time machine, go back to your childhood. Just imagine you were play piano. Your mom told you, oh, you need to practice piano for an hour, but actually you didn't want to. So that kind of negative feeling get released. You realize, oh, my mom actually loved me. My mom really cared about me. That's why she wanted me to practice the piano so later on I can use it. You know, when I'm upset or angry, I can play piano so I can feel better. So in that way, you just release the negative thoughts. You don't release all your memories.
And thank you for bringing that up, because as kids, we don't know any better. We don't know how to interpret things. Like you said, mom just wants you to enjoy playing piano. Take it seriously because you said you wanted to. So she's paying for it. So you got to do your lessons. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a kid, you're like, oh, that's all I care about. And then you internalize that, and then you carry that. You might even carry things with you. Mom is mean because of that. All of that is in us. The interesting thing is you could be another child and it doesn't even matter. That rolls right off their shoulder. They don't even care. There's not even a thought. Every child is different, but unfortunately, that's the way childhood goes. And I guess on the flip side, fortunately, as I understand it, it's just to keep us safe as kids. We're always on alert, between birth to, call it 7. We're just forming our opinions of people around us, even our parents. And fundamentally, I think it goes back to just being safe, just to stay safe. But in a kid's mind, that's not really staying safe. You think it is. It's fascinating how this all works. And many of us are afraid of hypnotherapy. I understand. I was too. I was like, I don't mind control all of that. It is so not. I love it. I look forward to it. I don't know if I ever shared with you, Dr. Kelly. I had a hypnotherapy session a number of years ago, and they provided me with audio, and it was just the hypnotherapist speaking. It wasn't even our session. It was them just speaking in a hypnotherapy audio file that I could play to just reinforce the session. I would listen to it to fall asleep, not to get the goal of the hypnotherapy session. It was 20 minutes of audio. I was asleep 7 minutes later. Beautiful. I would usually have to fall asleep. And as I understand it, my subconscious is probably still listening and then taking in all the stuff that was said to achieve that certain goal. What do you hear from people after you have a session? They have a session with you.
Yeah, actually, no. After I put in all the needles, I will do a mini affirmation hypnosis on all my patients, actually. So I will tell them, take a deep breath in, hold it, then breathe out, take a deep breath in, hold it, breathe. So I will ask them to repeat 3 times, close their eye. Usually I will ask them to close their eyes when I do, acupuncture. So in that way, they kind of go to the deep, relaxed situation. Then I will say something, positive affirmation. I will say, for example, people who are pregnant, I will say the baby is growing healthy and beautifully. Your body is relaxed. You are healthy. So put such kind of positive affirmation into their kind of subconscious mind. So in that way, they will always just think about positive thing. Actually, the other day, I listened to a video who is a neuroscientist. So he said every day our brain just automatically process 3,000 more than 5,000 thoughts, and 95% of these thoughts are negative without any control. When you think about something, your negative thoughts pop out. What I feel? What if I didn't, achieve the goal or something? Always our thoughts just came out every day, so many negative thoughts. So then when you think about hypnosis, why don't you think about it positively, right? Instead of negatively. That's why I do the affirmation on all my patients after finishing the needle. So when they go to relax, kind of even sleep, they will just remember a positive thing. The baby is healthy, I'm relaxed. So in that way, the acupuncture even the effect even better. So that's my patients. Recently I get more and more new patients. I do this to my patients. They all feel very relaxed. They feel very good. Doesn't matter is digesting problem or is there pain or is there whatever problem. They feel very relaxed. So it's very positive.
Wow. Love your approach. Love it with acupuncture, and especially now with hypnotherapy. Kelly121acupuncture.com. That's your website, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. And you're in New York, but the beauty of hypnotherapy, you can help anybody anywhere virtually, just like we're talking right now. Of course, acupuncture has to be in person in New York City. Thank you for all the insight. I am truly looking forward to our hypnotherapy session coming up very soon, and appreciate all the information. Thank you, Dr. Kelly.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.